Disappointing, painful. Just big picture couldn't match the physicality. Talked about leading into this game, they're going to make us earn it. We couldn't earn it. I will give those guys some credit. I mean, that's a good football team. Coach Witt's got that thing going on both sides of the ball, really in all phases. But we couldn't match it tonight. And so, even just talking to the team, look, I mean, this league, if you don't bring your A game, you're going to get beat. Right now, where we're at, we don't bring our A game, we're going to get blown out, especially against a good football team like that. That's what took place. The reality is, we got 6 games left, and we're going to keep on working, keep on fighting. I believe in this group that we can continue to improve, and it's not easy to do against good football teams like tonight, but we're going to keep on at this battle now. We're excited about the work ahead. And each week is different, and we got a brand new week coming forward. Questions?
Jonathan, you said you did bring your A game tonight. Did you sense at all during practice this week that was perhaps a possibility?
No, I didn't. I thought those guys worked. I knew we were going to have to be sharp in all phases against this team. And look, we were trying to catch some momentum early with I thought offensively, the holding penalties caught us. We wanted to challenge them defensively, and they got some one-on-ones, and they made the plays. And obviously, we just couldn't create anything to get some at all.
Jamar Jefferson out again today. Is he?
Yeah, he has yet to get to 100% the last few weeks, and felt like giving him more time to get closer to that.
Is there a chance he redshirts?
No.
And then also your kicking game, you brought in Everett Hayes for that second field goal attempt after Drew Harris 2 of 6 this year on field goals. Is that a change you're making, or did you just want to try it?
Well, we're definitely trying to make a kick, and so we want to give Everett a chance to do it, and we'll continue to compete at that spot moving forward.
Jonathan, just kind of talk about the message. What's moving forward for the team? Obviously, staying consistent, obviously at the top, but just after a win against UCLA last week, and then to follow up at homecoming with a big-time atmosphere and kind of fall flat. What's next?
Yeah, you got to continue to battle, and what's the other response? Again, we're working to build something here, and we put a ton of work into it. And I think we made some progress, but it's not always just going to continue on a steady line. It's going to have some ups and downs. Feeling like we've taken 2 steps forward, and then tonight we took 2 steps backwards.
Given the success your team has had on offense to this point, how much did you kind of look at this one as a measuring stick to see where your offense was at against a team like that?
Yeah, we looked at it as going in because we knew this was one of the better defenses in the league, and we failed that test. We're going to go back to work, take a good look at this tape, and try to get some things fixed.
Coach, kind of along those same lines, what is it that Utah does? They haven't allowed anybody to get over 100 yards rushing this season. What is it that they're doing that makes them so difficult to start a run game against?
Well, it does start the line of scrimmage. That defensive front creates some havoc. There's not a lot of air in those gaps, and then the linebackers fill pretty quickly. And they do feel confident in their secondary to leave them out on islands, and people struggle to expose that out there.
You didn't have Avery Roberts tonight. Is he far away from playing, or is he close?
No, he was in concussion protocol, so we're anticipating next week he'll be good.
Speaking of secondary, we watched Oregon State secondary play pretty soft coverage, and then they're keeping guys are still getting by them, and you guys are getting burned. Is that by design that they're playing soft, or?
No, we're trying to mix that up. Again, when we emphasis, we wanted to play aggressive stop in the run. We knew we were going to leave those guys out on some islands. Some of our techniques a little better off versus always up and pressing them. But look, not just those guys, everybody, we're working to figure some things to continue to improve. And we want to improve in all areas.
Coach, is there a position group, even though this was obviously a big loss, is there a position group that maybe stood out to you, kind of opened your eyes a little bit?
It's tough when you get beat that bad to just start stringing a lot of positive plays. Look, I do think we battled. I do think our receivers wanted to go out there and play some one-on-one. I thought, he made some attempts at Hodge. He did some good things catching it underneath. But I got to watch the tape for learning that.
Obviously, last week you guys jump out to a 21-0 lead, and you get behind this week. How I mean, it's obviously it's different, but their first 2 touchdowns, especially the 91-yarder, how much did that kind of set you guys back and make it difficult to get back into the game?
Yeah, it's, this game is about momentum, but this game's college football's a long game. We talked about it. We took the lead last week. We all got behind. We had opportunities to get ourselves back in this first half. We didn't do it. And look, we talk about it. Those guys are on scholarship just like we are. They're going to make some plays. We need to be able to respond and make some plays and do it tonight.
So off of that, knowing that at halftime still anything can happen to some extent, what was the message to them and how did you want them to respond versus how they did respond?
Yeah, we talked about playing some quality football in the second half. We get, the first half is over. We can't do anything to change that now. All we can change is the second half, and that was the message.
You guys have had some momentum through this season. How much do you worry about the psyche of your players after losing one like this?
Yeah, obviously we're focused on the psyche all the time of our players, but I do think they'll go back to work here tomorrow. That's all I know because that's what they've been doing. Look, it's disappointing and they're down, which they, just like all of us are, but I do expect us to battle back. We're at the halfway point of the season. We got a bunch of football still left, and I think these guys will be excited to go after it.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Kerry? Jake, it looked like the time that you had to throw was not very much tonight. Talk a little bit about their defense and what they did to you.
I mean, they're good, and we knew that they were good. Not really much more to it than that. They're physical up front, and we got to do a better job. I got to be able to stand in the pocket and face the pressure. Our guys got to be able to get open. It's on everybody, all phases of the offense.
Nick?
Blake, I think a question a lot of people are gonna want to know answer to. After last week's performance where you guys had that big win, did the team not really bounce back all that well this week in practice, and did that show up tonight, or?
No, I don't think we're slacking. I don't think there's a lack of focus or effort. I don't think anyone relaxed. I mean, we're a 2-3 game after that, or a 2-3 team after that. There's nothing to be happy about. So I thought we had a good week of practice. It's just not a good game.
I thought we had our best week of practice. I don't think that's what it was at all. I think we worked hard all week. I don't think we got comfortable. I don't think anything like that.
For both of you guys, just collectively, what's the message to the team moving forward? You guys have a big win against UCLA last week, and then follow up with this. It's kind of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. What's the message moving forward?
Keep swinging. I don't think there's anything else we can do other than just keep fighting. We got to come back. We're going to get here tomorrow, back in the building. We're going to watch the film. We're going to be out on the field correcting the stuff that we did wrong, and we're going to keep fighting. That's the way that we're going to be the rest of the year. We're not going to give up. We're going to play through all 4 quarters. We're going to play the rest of these 6 games on the regular season schedule with as much fight as we can with our heart, and that's it.
Jake, given the success you've had on offense to this point, coming into this game, how much should you kind of look at this one as sort of a measuring stick to see where you guys were on offense?
We knew it was going to be a tough one. Like I said, their front 7 is probably the best in the league. Their DBs are up there. I think they, like I said earlier this week, they don't have a weakness. They're good across the board. We knew we were going to have to bring our best, and we did it. And when you play probably the best team in our league and you don't bring your A game, that's what's going to happen.
Blake, you were the guy going up against their defensive front, which had averaged 53. Teams that averaged 53 yards rushing against them. How tough were they to block?
Yeah, no, I mean, like Jake's saying, they're a great front 7. They're they got a lot of good guys up there. I just got to watch the film and kind of see what was happening. But I mean, obviously, whatever we were doing wasn't good. So.
Anything else?
Jalen, after last week's win, how was practice like this week? Did you feel like guys were really into it and as focused as they should have been, or was there a little bit of a setback in practice?
I feel like the coaches, they did a good job preparing us and stuff like that, and it's really, we had a good practice, honestly, but it just really applying practice into the game, starting fast in the game, and that's just all I can say about that.
Brandel?
For either one of you guys, just after the big win against UCLA last week, simply from your guys' perspective, how does a loss like this happen?
Honestly, we just got to move on. Y'all keep talking about the win of last week and stuff like that, but we didn't show out today. we didn't show up today. Simple as that. We didn't tackle as best as we can. We practice hard, but you know, and it's what you do in the game that matters. We didn't show out. We didn't prove ourselves today, and we got to do better. Simple as that.
How much did, you know, those couple of big runs by Moss kind of early on kind of set the tone, and how tough was that for you guys to maybe rebound from that?
I just think, you know, like you gotta just tap. You know, I felt like Utah, they come in as a physical team, so I felt like we gotta start fast by matching their physicality and stuff like that. And Zach Moss's a good running back, but I mean, like I said, like he's just another. I mean, it's just like football. You know, everyone's gonna be good at this level, so you gotta just be mentally sharp and just become ready to play. That's all it is. You know, and start fast.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.